Another purple sector. Another purple sector. Holy crap. Another purple sector. Another purple sector. Let's go. So we've turned on Trophi.ai and we've nearly knocked off a second in the first 16 laps. This is my iRating. I hit 2,000 iRating for the first time February 11th of 2025. And you can see that I had quite the long plateau sitting in the 2,000 iRating mark, a little over a year and a half. And today we're going to try and change that. We're going to try and get to 3K iRating. Before I show you what I'm doing, I want to be honest with you guys. I don't know what I'm doing when I analyze telemetry. I have no idea. Now, this isn't a great example, but when I compare my telemetry to other faster drivers, I see that I'm faster in some areas, slower in some, and I can see that I can use some more track here and there. Now, I also have watched replays before. I don't really see where I'm losing time some cases, and I know that I am. And I just struggle to kind of analyze my laps, and I really don't want to go every time I practice in the Porsche Cup, every time I race in the Porsche Cup. I don't want to replay review, then analyze my telemetry. I really just don't have enough time. So today, we're going to be trying Trophi.ai. And what Trophi.ai does is it analyzes all of this for me. While I'm driving, I'm going to be pretty much hearing in my ears what I need to be doing differently. And it's basically a sim racing coach for much, much cheaper. If you have never looked up sim racing coaching before, you are going to find out that that is typically going to charge you around $50 to $200 an hour for sim racing coaching. So on top of me not having that much of time, that gets pretty expensive. And if we're looking at Trophi.ai, it's going to cost us about $11.99. If we want to upgrade to $15.99, I believe, you're going to also get setups with this service. And you can also see here, look, we have telemetry, we have coaching feedback, and we have all this telemetry on the right side as well. So our mission is to grind with Trophi.ai, and we're going to be learning a new track. We're going to be learning Miami. I have never in my life drove the track Miami. I've only seen it in Formula 1 races before. And yeah, so we're going to be starting from scratch. My pace should be absolutely terrible. Let's start running some laps. We're going to see how fast I can turn a lap blindly. Then I'm going to run about 20 to 40 laps by myself, maybe watch some kind of lap guide. And then we're going to turn on Trophi.ai and see how much faster we can get. Let's get right into the video. I think this was a fast turn. Oh, this is where I wrecked. Oh, I'm going to do it again. I can go wide here. Well. Oh no, this is the sharp turn, right? Oh my goodness. Okay, I gotta swing that way wider. I just lost so much time right there. He crossed the line at a 2:04.743. My strategy now is to basically get a good understanding of the track. I need to understand the racing line and everything better. So I'm gonna race a full stint on this track and see what kind of lap time we can turn. Here we are, done with our first stint. Let's take a look at some of the laps. You can see our first lap that we did was a 2:04.743, and after doing 16 laps we got it down to a 1:59.786. Now I'm going to start watching a lap guide so I can kind of get an understanding of better lines, and I'm going to do a whole nother stint without Trophi.ai and see if we can't get this down to what I believe is going to be a 1:58.786. I think I can get it down to. I think just by making a couple of adjustments on lines, braking points, we'll be able to improve this time pretty drastically before we turn on Trophi.ai.
Keep brake pressure to 10% here, avoiding the tire overload from 20%.
It's a very exact. Here we are. This is our first session with Trophi.ai, and the AI's name is Mansell. And you can see here our best lap at the start of this session is a 1:59.051. And something that I think is very interesting, I didn't even put a clip of this session before this because I ran 15 laps and did not turn a single faster lap that entire time.
Using that improved
and
brake point exactly,
well, you can see here I'm already up.
More gradually through the hairpin.
Do that first lap. First really like full flying lap with the Trophi AI. But 10th already.
Just set your fastest lap of the session.
Really don't feel like I turned that great of a lap there, if I'm being completely honest. Come on.
Brake 20 meters after the start of the apex curb on the right, not 30 meters early.
No spinning that time though. Another purple sector. Let's go. We went from not being able to get to the 158s. I think I got into the 158s 1 or 2 times yesterday without Mansell or without Trophi AI. And then we turned a 159.066. Or we turned 158, 159.0, 58.6, 58.5, 58.8. That was a little mistake on lap 7. 58.9, barely 59, 58, 58, and the last lap would have been a 58 as well, but and would have been my fastest lap. I just got into ABS there at the end trying to push it a little hard. So immediately, that was like a 3 or 4 tenths difference just by turning on Trophi AI. Another purple, let's go. So we pitted on lap 13, 159 on the out lap. 58.541. We almost tied our fastest lap from the section before, and we turned a 58.087. That is unbelievable. That is so much time. Now, before this, I think I've done almost 50 laps. So we're about 70 laps into Miami now, and we're down to a 158.087 from absolutely nothing. I would say that's quite a good improvement within pretty much 15 laps of actually driving with Trophi AI. So after those laps with Trophi AI, I decided the first race of Miami is happening right now. Let me jump right into this race and just see how my pace is. And well, what you're watching is qualifying, and this corner is the death of me. I've got to figure out this corner a little bit more. As you can see here, I tried to get on gas a little too early, spun, and put myself into some trouble in some qualifying. We kind of had to rush our second qualifying lap. Now, the second qualifying lap, keep in mind, my car has a full lap more gas in it and a full lap of not having my tires not warmed up as much. You can see here that my time on both of the laps before I wrecked, I was actually up, and I made a pretty big mistake during the actual qualifying lap that counted. So I ended up not being at the top of my pace, but it still wasn't a necessarily bad lap. I do think that this track was running a bit faster than what I had been practicing on, though, just because my pace during the race, well, you're going to see it, was really good, especially for having to do what I had to deal with. But yeah, no, I think this was overall pretty good. I probably should have practiced a little bit more Trophi AI, but I wanted to see where my pace was. So let's take a look. Absolutely missed qualifying. These guys are fast. I didn't turn too slow of a lap for myself. It's actually the second fastest lap I've ever turned. And a 1:58.423, and these guys are way up there.
The estimated SOF is
a 2,900 strength of field. While the start of the race is happening, I want to talk to y'all about the qualifying. Now, obviously, I did not qualify well, but I went back and looked at, how did people qualify, what was their iRating, and all of that good stuff. And I came to the realization that 7 out of the 12 drivers ahead of me at the time of qualifying were over 3,000 iRating. 3 of those drivers were over 7,000, and a couple between 5,000 to like 3,500. So then I realized out of those 5 drivers that were below 3,000 iRating, they were all around the same what I was. I would have beat all of them except for one. If I would have qualified and not kind of, lost that big chunk of time in that one turn where I lost 4 tenths out of it. Now, then I started looking at, where did these guys finish that were, ahead of me? And only one of the drivers that were below 2,000 iRating finished in 4th place. So that one kind of outlier that I wouldn't have beat if I didn't mess up that one turn. Well, it comes to find out he started in 5th. So he pretty much had the pace of 7,000 to 4,000 iRating drivers, but he was only 2,600. So let's call him an outlier. So realistically, if I don't mess up one turn, I qualify in 1st out of the drivers that I'm realistically trying to beat out of our iRating rating. So I actually ended up being a little bit happy with that after doing some research, but I want you guys to kind of experience this Miami race. This was absolutely insane, and you're about to see how this race plays out. Kind of some bad luck here.
You're in the top 10. Car right.
Okay.
Keep to the left. Clear.
Nothing like the force and then the shove. Love that. We're going to be much faster than I am being a 4K iRating driver, though. Holy moly, you can see how much faster he is. I butchered that exit. I cannot find a good way to take that turn.
Left side. Keep to the right. Clear on the left. Right side. Still there.
All right.
Let's make sure.
We're going to analyze this wreck
sick, man.
a little bit later, but man, wrecks like that are so frustrating because you're having a good race, you're up positions, you're about to have a decent battle, you just passed someone who just passed you, and golly, wrecks like that frustrate me, and just looking at the replay, it gets worse.
Go left.
Man, oh man. I mean, we gridded in 12th. We got wrecked all the way back to 5th, or to dead last. All the way back up to 15th. All right, let's see what happens here. So here we are. This guy goes deep. I make the inside. I'm going around the outside, and he just flat out wrecks me. Absolutely just flat out wrecks me. What is this move? Goes through... Hello? I mean, can we just... Where are we? I feel like that has to be on him, right? I mean, first of all... Yeah. I mean, he's completely outside. He's off track right here, hitting the brakes, and just goes straight into me. Instead of holding the brakes, he just... That's crazy. I mean, I'm all the way on the outside there. Can't really do much from that. I mean, overall, that was a fairly good race. Let's look at some of the laps. Here we are. We turned a 158. So looking at the laps, we had wing damage pretty much that entire race. We turned a 158.528. You can see we're pretty consistent there. I'm definitely losing time in the long sweeper. I've got to figure out something to do differently. But I hope y'all enjoyed this video. We're on the road to 3K iRating. Let's go ahead and take a look and see how much safety / iRating we just lost, because we did catch that little wreck right there. We lost 24 iRating. Not that bad considering we got wrecked all the way to dead last. But I hope y'all enjoyed this video. Be sure to like and subscribe because the series is going to continue on. And yeah, what did you think of Trophi AI? I hope y'all enjoyed it. I'll see y'all in the next one.